Nammo Yidafa. Good morning. Thank you for joining me for a daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The third mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct, I vow to cultivate responsibility and learn ways to protect the safety and integrity of individuals, couples, families, and society. I am determined not to engage in sexual relations without love and a long-term commitment. To preserve the happiness of myself and others, I'm determined to respect my commitments and the commitments of others. I will do everything in my power to protect children from sexual abuse and to prevent couples and families from being broken by sexual misconduct. We're reading the Dhamma talk, Reading the Natural Mind from Ajahn Chah's book, Bodhinyana. And this is a section on constant effort. Until we are able to stop our mind, until we reach tranquility, the mind will just continue as before. It's for this reason that the teacher says, just keep on doing it, keep on with the practice. Maybe we think, if I don't yet understand, how can I do it? Until we're able to practice properly, wisdom doesn't arise. So we just keep on with it. If we practice without stopping, we'll begin to think about what we are doing. We'll start to consider our practice. Nothing happens immediately. So in the beginning, we can't see any results from our practice. This is like the example I've often given you of a man who tries to make fire by rubbing two sticks of wood together. He says to himself, "They say there's fire here," and he begins rubbing energetically. He's very impetuous. He rubs on, but his impatience doesn't end. He wants to have that fire. He keeps wanting to have that fire, but the fire doesn't come. So he gets discouraged and stops to rest for a while. He starts again, but the going is slow, so he rests again. By then the heat has disappeared. He didn't keep at it long enough. He rubs and rubs until he tires, and then he stops altogether. Not only is he tired, but he becomes more and more discouraged until he gives up completely. There's no fire here. Actually, he was doing the work, but there wasn't enough heat to start a fire. The fire was there all the time, but he didn't carry on to the end. This sort of experience causes the meditator to get discouraged in his practice, so he restlessly changes from one practice to another, and this sort of experience is also similar to our own practice. It's the same for everybody. Why? Because we're still grounded in defilements. The Buddha had defilements also, but he had a lot of wisdom in this respect. While still worldlings, the Buddha and the Arhants were just the same as us. If we are still worldlings, then we don't think rightly. Thus, when wanting arises, we don't see it. And when not wanting arises, we don't see it. Sometimes we feel stirred up, and sometimes we feel contented. When we have not wanting, we have a kind of contentment, but we also have a kind of confusion. When we have wanting, this can be contentment and confusion of another kind. It's all intermixed in this way. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for joining me this morning.